2015 started off in a really unexpected way. After a bit of a scary phone call, we booked a flight and rushed off to Sri Lanka because my aunt wasn't doing too well. And something that I've noticed in the past when faced with hard times is that time stops for no one. The world just keeps spinning and everyone else in it seems to go about their day as per usual, and you end up just having to try to keep up to the best of your ability. And whilst in the past it's something that I've always found quite difficult to deal with, this time around it's been kind of comforting. Because time stops for no one, the day will go on. And a day seems to be made up of many tiny moments. And while you might spend some or most of those moments feeling a bit nervous or scared, sprinkled within the day might be some moments that actually make you smile. So I thought now I might just squish all of those nice moments together so I might be able to remember the beginning of this year in a positive light. So here it goes. Not all of these moments are very significant, but they still made me smile. Like when I found out that Korean teledramas are becoming really popular in Sri Lanka. And we also watched a similar cartoon that had some token white people music playing as a backing track. I also had a laugh when I went to the store and I saw these poorly placed signs for two very different products. Or when I saw that Sri Lanka finally got the memo on how to sell photo frames. But I think my favorite moments are ones that I shared with my family. Regardless of the circumstances, being able to spend time with them was really nice, and I feel like I've learned a lot. For starters, I learned that 4 kids can't play musical chairs properly with 4 chairs. But I guess that way everyone's a winner, which is good when you're dealing with a tiny child who doesn't like losing. I also learned, however, that this tiny child is a pretty hectic dancer. That's some good stuff. Wow, look at those moves. And one new thing I learned about my cousin Dhoni is that she's a huge WWE fan. Who's your favorite WWE wrestler?
John Cena.
She's not kidding, she's a massive John Cena stan. Which is a massive coincidence because I actually saw John Cena in the back of a 3-wheeler one time. Oh, and 3-wheelers are really something. Navigating small bumpy roads in these tiny vehicles was truly a wild ride. Maybe too wild. They had me wishing I was wearing a sports bra every time I was in them. And going on main roads with them can be vaguely terrifying because the vehicle is so small the drivers just like to weave in between traffic, which is already chaotic by the way, since the road rules in Sri Lanka are more like gentle guidelines and everyone just does whatever the heck they want. Oh, okay. My brother actually tried driving one time, which was scary, but I think he did a good job considering that we're allowed to tell the tale, and I only screamed one time, so I'm very proud. But I think that what makes me the most proud is looking through photos, which we did a lot of when we went to my Lokatata's house. Here's him looking like a cool guy, and here's my dad also looking like a cool guy. There are a lot of really nice pictures in this album that, as you would expect, had a picture of a scantily clad babe on the front. Oh yes, my fave. There are also some really nice photos at my grandmother's house, of my parents on their wedding day, and a really pretty picture of my mum at the homecoming after the wedding. Another great thing about my grandmother's house is that the front yard is very casually a tea plantation. And I was thrilled, obviously, because if you didn't know, Sri Lankan people are obsessed with tea. There's no designated tea time. Any time is tea time. If you're awake and breathing, it is tea time. Something that my brother really wanted to do was make a video about how tea is made. The only problem was that we literally had no clue on how tea was made.
This kind of tea is very pure, so we have to do it quickly and sharp.
What's he saying? I don't know. So I just told him to tell everyone that he literally had no idea what he was doing and just go from there.
Oh.
And we did actually get to go out a couple of times. One day our Kanishka Bapa was nice enough to take us to the museum, which was really cool. And one of my favorite things I saw was this bull having a little dance with a drummer and a cymbal player. Probably doing the Macarena or the Nene, not too sure. Also some old money cash money. Here's my outfit of the day. A chair they put out for me when they saw me coming. A plate they gave me some snacks on. Oh, and these beautifully designed items are actually just ear and toothpicks, etc. Literally. Which is only really beaten by this amazing relic, which is, you know, exactly what you would imagine, a urinal. And on another day he actually took us to see the longest reclining Buddha statue in South Asia, which was really just amazing, and the temple was so wonderful as well. But I think that my favorite thing about this trip was meeting my baby cousin for the first time. I've learned a lot about her very quickly. A couple of those things are that she's a little over a year old now. The only word she really knows how to say is tata, So she calls everyone Tata.
Ayya.
This is her sitting in a high chair with a can of corned beef. She doesn't really like sitting in her stroller as much as she likes pushing it. She's a superstar at kicking ball, of course. Unfortunately, she doesn't share the same taste in music as my brother and I. That's okay because we can just send her to baby prison. I'm just kidding. Her selfie game is already much stronger than mine will ever be, and she really likes seeing herself through the front view camera. And here's her reviewing her work and being pleased with her performance. So yeah, I've learned a lot. I think that what these tiny moments in time have taught me is that in life, there are going to be situations that we have absolutely no control over, and all you can really do is just try your best to work with what you're given. And I know it's okay to be sad or nervous sometimes, but you can't let yourself deny the existence of brilliant, happy moments, no matter how brief or insignificant they may seem. When it comes down to what I want to remember about the beginning of 2015, I realized that what I want to remember is this collection of tiny moments.